Bonjour, comment ça va? Oh, that's good.
John, how disappointed are you that you're not fighting Daniel Cormier?
I'm not disappointed at all. At first, I was a little taken back by it, but everything happens for a reason, and maybe I was meant to get out there before that big fight and fight this big fight. Worthy opponent. One of the top guys in the world.
You've flirt. You flirted with him.
What's going on there?
It's hard to say whether Daniel. It's hard to say how hurt Daniel is. To this day, I don't think anyone's quite clear on his exact injury, and supposedly there's a really quick turnaround time on the recovery. So, I have my questions.
Now you've mentioned twice or flirted with saying I'll fight a heavyweight. You're almost 30. Is it getting harder to make that weight? Because when you were 23, I said just wait. It's going to get harder and harder. Is it getting to that point? Or are you still good at light heavyweight?
I'm good at light heavyweight. I've gotten a lot more mature, and I've hired a lot of great people to help me, manage life and manage my weight So I think I've given myself a few more years at light heavyweight division for sure.
Now, fame is kind of a son of a bitch because you've done things in your past that regular truck drivers have done, but they didn't get 5,000 Twitters saying I hate your guts. Is it difficult, the fact that who you are and just your regular life is constantly scrutinized?
No, it's not difficult being out front and in front of a lot of people. It's what I asked for. I'm working really hard to go down as a legend and be one of the best fighters ever, and I know that's going to come with a lot of praise, a lot of scrutiny, and you just got to kind of take it as it comes. You gotta have thick skin and be willing to stand the heat.
John, I know you kind of mentioned on Instagram, but what were your thoughts on watching Rashad Evans go through his loss, and do you feel like that whole beef is kind of put behind you? Maybe you guys could, I don't know, maybe even train together again. I kind of thought about that idea, maybe him coming back to Jackson's for another fight.
I think it's safe to say my beef with Rashad is gone. I won that fight when we fought, so if anyone were to have hurt feelings, I would imagine it would be him. Me and Rashad had really great moments before our drama started, and those moments I think me and him will both remember, those good times. As far as Rashad coming down to Jackson's, I think he'd be a tremendous training partner. But at the same time, I think he's a little bit too close to Anthony Johnson. I think his loyalty will always be with Anthony over me, and I don't know how much I could trust him to be a training partner in the future. So.
Hey John, yesterday during the open workouts, I don't think I heard OSP's name mentioned once during the scrum. Maybe it was, but yeah. So I don't know. I know you can't speak for the media, but are you overlooking him at all in this fight?
No, I'm totally not overlooking OSP. OSP has a bunch of first-round finishes. He has great knockout power. Whenever you're fighting someone with great knockout power, you really have to be on point. You got to be on your game. So I'm taking him very seriously. You see me having a lot of fun leading up to the fight. Me and my coaches, we goof around, and we do a lot of things to keep our mind off the fight. But when the cameras and lights are off, we are studying, we are going over our strategy, we're going over our tactics, and we're taking him extremely seriously for sure.
What's your reaction the last couple of days with everything that's going on with Conor?
My reaction, to be honest, I haven't really had too much of a reaction. I've been focusing on my fight, and focusing on why I'm here.
Do you think Conor's earned the right to sort of pass on the UFC promotions that he wants to do?
No comment.
John, over the last year, a couple of the other big stars in the UFC, Ronda Rousey and Conor, dealt with losses. Meanwhile, you are, in most people's minds, still undefeated, obviously best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. How important is it for you to kind of define your legacy as the greatest of all time, the greatest pound-for-pound? I know you've kind of mentioned the pound-for-pound thing. I think that is something you do take pride in.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of pride in being pound-for-pound number one. Who wouldn't want to be number one at what they do? So it makes me really happy. It's something that I will train hard to protect. But at the same time, I'm not a guy who fights, not to lose. I fight to win every time. And not only win, but dominate. So yeah.
Fight week, you said, just before fight week, you said you were really going to embrace this one and that you're going to enjoy it a bit more than perhaps other fight weeks. What is it about this that's making it particularly special for you? Do you feel like the shackles are off now?
Yeah, this fight week, before I left, I took all this for granted. I took you guys being here for granted. I took the fans for granted, my position in the sport, endorsements. I took it all for granted. And now I'm at a place where I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. You can be annoyed with people asking you questions until you're not getting asked those questions anymore. So now I really am refreshed, and I just see the importance of the whole process. And I'm making a conscious effort to enjoy the whole process.
How satisfying was it for you to be able to, as you said the other day, save the show by taking this short notice fight, given everything that had happened in the past with 151?
It's been very important for me to get out here and to do something for the fans, for sure. Like I said, I felt as if there's been a lot of negative surrounding my name, and I wanted to do something really positive to make the fans happy again, with me. And I feel like this helped a lot.
How difficult, because for the average fan to see someone get injured and sitting out, it kind of bothers us. But for you, you have the ability to make a complete impact on not only the posters on this wall, but an entire light heavyweight and possibly heavyweight division. How difficult was it for you to sit back and watch the landscape change? And do you think that the landscape has gone further, changed a lot, or are you going to just jump right back in?
Are you talking about the light heavyweight division? I don't really feel like the landscape has changed too much. There was some interesting fights, Gustafsson losing, DC having the belt, Anthony Johnson right up there in the mix, Glover Teixeira, he's looking great. I don't feel like things have really, it's a hard question to answer. I just believe I'll win this fight, and I'll win my next fight, and be champion again, and then everyone else can figure out who's going to fight me next after that.
Was it difficult to sit back and watch it change hands and switch?
No, not difficult at all. It's just sit back and spectate and enjoy as a fan.
When you were sitting at home with your family, I know you talked about seeing the main events go on without you. That's eventually what got you going again and motivated to get back to work. What other than fighting could you have seen yourself doing?
What other than fighting? Being a trainer, I would love to do that at some point in my life. I would love to have my own martial arts academy in the future. Real estate is something that really intrigues me. And just being a great father, being smart with money, making wise investments, and just raising my daughters up to be extraordinary young women. I think that will be my second career.
Oh, oh.